Hello, everyone. My name is Conrad here at Cache Valley Counseling. Happy March. There's March Madness. This month we're focusing on March mindfulness, March meditation. I guess we like alliterations here, but I'm excited to share a few things with you. This what I'm going to share comes from the DBT workbook or Dialectical Behavioral Therapy, uh, specifically to manage distress better. So distress tolerance is where it comes from. So good, good exercises here. I want to kind of walk you through some of them. How to practice mindfulness, that art of being present, that ability to be within yourself, to know what your body and mind are experiencing, and aligning those two up. The goal here with these tip skills are to help reduce extreme emotion fast. So these are oftentimes used in crisis moments or when you really need some coping strategies to help reduce extreme emotion fast. So tip skills. As always, with any of these things, sometimes we're doing some big changes to the body, like changing temperature, either cold or hot. Make sure you consult with a medical professional if that's okay to do. Um, like very cold water can decrease heart rate, and exercise can increase it. So making sure your heart can handle that, as well as not being allergic to the cold, um, or take a beta blocker, or struggle with eating disorders or anything of that nature. I want to make sure these don't worsen the problem, but it can be very helpful in those moments. So I'll start with the T, which is temperature. So uh, we're going to elicit something here with this changing the temperature. And typically, when we're feeling a lot of distress, typically comes out in a more hot or aggravated or irritated manner. So, this method is to help reduce that temperature and cool it off quickly. So, while holding your breath, um, we want to put your face in a cold bowl of water, or another way could be putting water in a Ziploc and holding it over your eyes. And while doing that, holding your breath, could be a cold pack, but we don't want it to be ice or something that's more painful. We definitely want it to be cold, but not painful. So doing something of that nature, putting it on, like I said, your eyes or cheeks, or in a bowl of water, or even or splashing or continual cold water over your face while holding your breath for 30 seconds. The goal here is to elicit something called the dive response. Now, if you've ever gone snorkeling or just held your breath underwater or just swam, um, the body kind of instinctually knows that you cannot breathe underwater. At least that we train our brain to understand that. And so while underwater, the instinct is not to breathe because we know there's not sufficient oxygen, that it will not be good for us, that we will potentially drown and die. So the goal in doing this is to elicit this dive response as if your brain thinks you are underwater. Now, when you are underwater and you cannot breathe, the goal is for the brain to survive, which means it's going to reduce oxygen flow to the extremities and focus it on the heart and the brain. By doing so, it reduces your heart rate because of less work it needs to do to your extremities. It reduces blood pressure for that same reason of not as much blood being pumped to other areas. It reduces thoughts because our brain, when focusing on the need for oxygen, which death can come pretty quickly without oxygen, it focuses on that need to survive, which that means thoughts reduce. Right? Our mindset can be quick to change. It just focuses on, oh, that's really cold, and I don't mean painfully cold, but that's cold and I can't breathe. So that is my new focus. That helps be more present. That's what we're trying to do there with that eliciting the dive response, tipping that temperature of your face with cold water. Now, some variations of that can be taking cold showers with or without clothes on. Sometimes I've recommended to clients that if you're in this distress state and you just can't get out of it and you really aren't able to find some other way, jumping in the shower, turning on cold water, full clothes allows that that quick response to say, no, my focus is on that rather than what I'm going through. So there's some variations there, but the goal is to be able to elicit that dive response. That's the first one. That's the T, temperature. The I in these tip skills is intense exercise. So to calm down your body when it's revved up by emotion, by actually working it more can calm that body's response to that emotion, or in essence getting out that emotion, getting out those feelings, those experiences out through that intense exercise or movement could also help reduce those emotions and those distresses quickly. So even if it's just for a short while, I typically say do something as hard as you can. Now, again, within not injuring yourself, but as hard as you can for as fast as you can for as long as you can. Um, Allowing yourself to really just get that out there as fast as possible in a way that could be jumping jacks, it could be running, it could be uh, push-ups, it could be walking fast, lifting weights, it could be doing a variety of things. But again, the intent to be able to get that out allows that body to respond to that differently, that distress. Again, being able to be more mindful and present in that your body's experiencing that ability to get out and rid of those distressing emotions quickly. So that's the I, intense exercise. Now I say tips because I usually put two P's there. So I'm going to talk about the first P, which is paced breathing. I think we've had some other great max group videos about some good breathing exercises. Well, we typically recommend doing meditation mindfulness, so I won't spend too much time on them. But some good paced breathing, some two common ones I suggest are box breathing, which is typically a consistent modality of breathing, which is inhaling for 4 seconds, holding the breath for 4 seconds, exhaling for 4 seconds, and holding it again for 4 seconds before returning to that process and doing it over. So that's staying in that box, that 4 by 4 second box. Now you can vary that if you need to, going up to 5 or more seconds. Just staying consistent in those times allows for that, again, focused mindset on the breathing rather than on any other distress that you're currently experiencing. The military uses that one quite a bit to control heart rate, reduce the mind's response. Being able to really just focus on that, it's a great tool. Another type of of breathing that I recommend, I'll call it 7-8-9 or progressive breathing, and that is just being able to inhale for 7 seconds, hold it for 8 seconds, and then exhale for 9 seconds, allowing your body to again exhale more than we inhale. There's purpose to that. Being able to be slow and deliberate in those breathing. Now, sometimes the lung capacity doesn't really do that, but you'd be surprised if you really slow down your breathing, how slow and deep your breath could be. If you need to slow that down and go down to like 6-7-8 or 5-6-7, that's also okay as you start and practice it. But working up, I think 7-8-9 is a good, slow, long, deep breath. Again, purpose of that to be more mindful, intentional breathing, and breathing just helps us. It gives us a lot of benefits to be able to increase the oxygen into our body, to increase the amount of CO2 and other toxins we breathe out, and the purpose of that being exhaling longer. But after those 9 seconds, we do go back. Unlike box breathing, we do go back and inhale for those 7 seconds right away, rather than holding it like we do box breathing. Um, So another part of deep breathing is trying to breathe through your belly. Chest breathing, or at least deep breathing through the chest, oftentimes in distressed moments, it can get tight. We can feel that tightness in our chest. We can't get as full of a breath with our chest. So breathing through your belly, which is a different concept if you've never practiced it. Like I think singers and other athletes in different ways breathe more through their belly. If you haven't, just take some intentional time to breathe with that belly, get a deeper, fuller breath with the lung capacity down there as well. So that's the first P, paced breathing. The second P, or the last thing in here in these tip skills, are paired muscle relaxation. So this is to help calm down um, with that breathing with the paired muscle relaxation. So what I mean by that is while breathing in deeply and doing so with your belly, we want to focus and intentionally tense certain muscles in your body. For example, like your feet. So imagine yourself right now flexing and tensing all of those muscles in your feet while breathing. Notice that tension in your body. And then while breathing out, saying the word relax in your mind or out loud if you prefer. And then you let go of that tension. I want you to notice that difference in your body, that you're intentionally tensing a muscle while breathing in that and tensing it, and then purposefully relaxing and relaxing, and reducing that tension in that muscle group. I'll sometimes walk through a whole body scan through this. So starting sometimes with the feet, working your way up, right? Your feet, your calves, your thighs, your hip and glute region, your stomach, or your back, your lower back with your stomach, your upper back and your shoulders, your neck, upper arm, your lower arm, your wrists, your hands, your fingers, your face. Really just intentionally going through those major muscle groups while pairing that with some deep breathing. This helps reduce that tension in your body while also helping your mind intentionally focusing on relaxing rather than on the distress that needs to happen or that doesn't need to happen, but that is happening, and to focus on that relaxation that needs to happen. So these are the four that I'm recommending. Again, in this mindfulness, this March mindfulness and meditation time to help change your temperature, cool your body temperature, to do intense exercise, paced breathing, and paired muscle relaxation. These are some skills that I do believe can help reduce intense emotion quickly, but not everyone works for everybody. So accept that fact that it's okay if it doesn't work great for you, but I hope some of them do. And as well, there's many resources out in the world about mindfulness meditation. Hopefully, this is helpful in finding ways to reduce that intense emotion fast. I appreciate listening today and hope it helps in the way that you need it.